Unfortunately, that's the reality of the situation. People can live with psoriasis all their lives. They can live with rosacea or acne and they're all fine. But the moment you get a little bit of hair thinning, I looked into the mirror and I can't even recognize me.
Let's talk about smart longevity strategies. As a Gen X mum, founder and podcaster, my days can be long and demanding. That's why I love learning about longevity and cellular wellness breakthroughs that work hard and smart. Time Capsule by Melrose Future Lab is the first TGA-listed all-in-one longevity supplement. It combines 12 clinically backed ingredients in one daily formula to support energy, metabolism, cognition, cardiovascular health, bone strength, and antioxidant protection. Powered by Lipisperse and Verisperse for enhanced absorption, it includes niacinamide riboside for cellular energy, resveratrol antioxidant defense, and berberine to support glucose metabolism. Plus essentials like activated B vitamins, magnesium, vitamin D3 with K2. Because real longevity is not just about one thing. It's sleep, nutrition, mindset, and yes, supplements. It's about everything working together. Time Capsule makes it simple.
Hair is just so sexy at the moment. Skin care, anti-aging has been around for a while, but I think skinification of hair seems to be this trend that's now exploding. And there's just so much misinformation out there. So I'm really happy to be here, have a chat about things, go with the science-backed evidence and how we would treat hair loss, because I think it's really important to filter out the noise that's in social media at the moment. So it's much easier to treat early or mild hair thinning than to treat it along down the track when it's more advanced, because the longer you wait, microscopically, there would be some scarring around the hair follicles, which would make it more difficult for us to achieve regrowth. So one of the first signs that women should look out for would be a bit of thinning on the temples, a bit of recession there. Sometimes it's normal with age, but it can be a first presenting sign of thinning. The other very common presentation that we have dismissed for years is an increase in hair shedding.
How hormonal shifts specifically will impact hair growth, hair loss, hair thinning, the Christmas tree, or any other thing that you talked about.
You are referring to female pattern hair loss. I don't like to call it hormonal hair loss because it gives the illusion that many women have abnormal androgens or have higher circulating androgens or androgen excess that leads to female pattern hair loss, but that is not the case. I looked at the genetic basis of female pattern hair loss in my PhD and also hormonal influences in hair, but scientific literature is conflicting. It does support beneficial effects of estrogens, but there are also some reports and studies that support detrimental effects of estrogens on hair. So this is why using estrogens, using HRT to treat hair loss is not standard treatment. There are ongoing research at the moment. So in time, things may change, but in 2025, we don't know exactly what hormonal mechanisms underlie more hair thinning or acceleration of hair thinning during peri and postmenopause.
I have a special Ageless listener offer. Ready to simplify your longevity stack? Our Season 11 sponsor, Melrose Future Lab, is offering Ageless listeners 40% off your first Time Capsule order. Just use the code AGELESS at checkout. T's and C's apply. Offered valid on one-time purchases of Time Capsule. Only available now at melrosefuturelab.com.au.
I think in the first instance, it's really important not to go down that rabbit hole of spending hundreds and thousands of dollars on every hair growth serum, every snake oil you see on social media. And snake oils include things like rosemary oil. So I always say, trust science, not rosemary oil. There's so many things out there that are based on very weak evidence. So the moment you click or you search the term hair growth serum or what to do for hair loss, is like vultures. All these marketing ads come swarming into your social media and your Google search. So that's number one. Don't get bogged down by the noise. You can try some hair growth shampoos and serums. Active ingredients that you could look for would be ammonexal, stamoxidine, copper peptides. The weaker ones like saw palmetto, caffeine, I don't tend to recommend it. I also don't tend to recommend anti-dandruff shampoos for hair thinning. If it's for dandruff, it's a different story because the evidence for these are quite weak. So in 2025, first-line treatments for hair thinning, female pattern hair loss, is still going to be prescription medicines. We would use
Prescription medication.
medications, yes. They would be using a combination of anti-androgens and hair growth stimulants like minoxidil, oral minoxidil. Anti-androgens such as spironolactone or bicalutamide, we use that because it works like a handbrake to slow down progression of thinning. Any regrowth on anti-androgens, I would consider it a bonus. But regrowth on minoxidil, that's an expectation of treatment. So that's why we use combination therapy. But we are lucky in 2025 and practicing in hair loss medicine in this space, we are seeing so much disruptive biotechnologies.
Can you see from a patient's perspective and a listener's perspective how this might actually rule out treatment, professional treatment for a lot of people?
So firstly, we need to decide, is your hair thinning early or mild or in the preventative stage? If it is, it's much easier. You can go down the track of using a good quality hair growth serum, shampoos to boost regrowth, to sustain your scalp health. There are general measures that you can take. As I've mentioned before, we know now that scalp aging, hair aging, including thinning, hair graying, hair shedding, that accelerates with lifestyle environment factors like UV, pollution, cigarette smoking, stress. I think coconut oil, there's one.
Coconut oil?
Coconut oil for moisturizing. So that's like $14 product.
Yep.
It starts with an O. I can't remember what is it, but it's a clear bottle with a gold cap. You can get it for $14 in Woolies or at Coles. I know people can live with psoriasis all their lives. They can live with rosacea or acne and they're all fine. But the moment you get a little bit of hair thinning, because it's hard to hide, and truly it is quite poignant that it is your identity. One thing that one of my female patients said to me about her hair loss that really stuck with me, she said, I looked into the mirror and I can't even recognize me. And that really hit a chord in my heart. And having been an alopecia specialist for more than 10 years now, I've seen the impact of hair thinning on most people. And I've been through it myself when I shed a lot of hair, when I stopped the contraceptive pill years ago after childbirth. It is quite traumatic. It is quite scary. And going bald, and because you can't hide it, it is a true identity crisis. So the first thing I want to say is do not dismiss hair loss concerns. So my consult style is I see myself as someone to tell patients or to guide patients, this is my advice. This is your best option. But if you're uncomfortable with prescription medicines, we have got hair regeneration therapies to buy you time, or if you're pregnant, breastfeeding, or you're going through perimenopause, your GP is trying to sort out your HRT, we can hold off prescription medicines and do something else. So there are always options. And I think it's important to tailor those options to our patients and give them back that empowerment to make that decision themselves, give them back that control. So that's how I would consult, rather than just saying, take it or leave it. You've got anti-androgen minoxidil. If you don't want it, there's nothing else you can do. Of course, that's not true, but that's just my style.
You're listening to the highlights edit of a longer episode. If you enjoyed this clip, be sure to download and listen to the full episode.